In this lesson, we're going to be going over how to display our ammo count information into our UI. So up until now, we've been using a console message to display this information, but this information is not going to be available to us when we're playing our game. So we need a visual indicator to let us know how much ammo we have. So for this, we're going to be using a UI text element, which we're then going to be using with our shoot script. Now to start off, we are going to be in the L4 start. This is going to be in the project source files. And there is one thing that will not be provided to you, and it's this font file right here. So this is a free font file, but I cannot distribute it myself. It's called OCR-A Extended. You can find this online. I'll be providing a link to it if you do want to use this. It's not required to follow along with this lesson, but if you do want to use your own font file, you need a .otf or a .ttf file. Just drag it into your project panel. All right, so let's get started by creating our text elements first. We're going to add our text elements to our ammo bounds, which is this image over here. So we're going to have our text elements in here, and we're going to be creating two of them. So with the ammo bound selected in the hierarchy, just right-click on it, go down to UI, and then text. Now we're going to be creating two of these, so let's go and duplicate this text. So right-click, duplicate. The first one is going to be called current ammo. And the second one is going to be our total ammo. So hence why we have two of them. Now you could use one text element altogether, but the reason why we're going to be using two of them is because one is going to be bigger in size than the other. So I'm going to be using two of them, and we're going to be using two separate lines within our script to reference both of these. Right, so let's start off with the current ammo. Let's switch into our scene view real quick. And with the UI tool selected, I'm going to resize these and move these in position. Let's just separate these out a bit. So this is the current ammo. This is the total ammo. So total ammo is going to be on the right. Current ammo is going to be on the left. Let me zoom in here a bit. Now for the size of these, I want these to be about the same height as the box right here. So just left click and drag on the lines right here to move these up and down. And let me move this off to the side a bit. Let's do the same thing for this one over here. Now the good thing about using the UI tool is that you can expand this box, but it also gives you these guidelines so you know exactly where you're at. So right now you can see that blue line appears, letting me know that it's perfectly in line with this box right here. Let me resize this one. Alright, so the current ammo is going to be bigger in size than the total ammo. And for the current ammo, let's actually replace the new text filler right here with a number. This is going to be a placeholder so we know what it looks like. So typically the current ammo is going to be something small like 10. And for the font, I'm going to be using the OCR-A Extended. Just drag this into that slot. It'll replace the Arial font, and now you can see I have that new font. Now if you don't have a font file, feel free to use the Arial, which is the default, or you could also use your own custom font as well. Do the same thing, just drag it into that slot. Now for the font size, I'm just going to hover over the font size name right here, and I'm going to left click and drag. So I'm going to go with something like 95. 95 is pretty good. So this is the size of our current text. Let's jump down into our alignment, and I want to align this in the center point. So the center and center right here. We're not going to be using the horizontal or vertical overflow. Typically that's used if the text is going to go past the bounding box of the text element that we have in here. In this case, our bounding box is big enough to hold our text, so we don't need to use horizontal or vertical overflow. I do want to change the color to match the UI element, which is going to be white. Let's do the same thing for the new text over here, which is the total ammo. Now in this case, we're going to be using a slash, so a /, and then we'll just start off with say 120, just so you know what it looks like. And once again, I'm going to use a font size, but this time we're going for a smaller size. So the total ammo is going to be smaller in size than this current ammo. I forgot to replace the font file. Let's go and do that now. There we go. All right, so we're going with the font size of 45 for this one. Feel free to pick whatever sizes you like best. Now once again, let's align this up to the center point, and let's change the color once again. So this time it's going to be white as well. All right, so we're done with our text elements. If we switch back to our game view, you can see what the text looks like. So we have the current ammo, which is bigger than the total ammo. Now we need to plug this in with our UI script so it always updates with the current information. So we're going to go into the UI script itself, click on the UI canvas, and double click on the UI script from the script component. All right, so at the very top, we have a couple of things commented out. First off, we have the text elements we're going to be using. So public text, current ammo, and total ammo, these are the text elements that we just created. Next, we need a reference to our shoot script. So public shoot script is going to be using our information from the shoot script so we can display this on our current ammo and total ammo text elements. Within the awake function, we need a reference to that shoot script. So shoot script equals shoot script.getComponent shoot. Then finally, within the update function, we're going to say current ammo.text. This is going to be our text element, and we want to replace the current text that's on there with this variable. So shoot script.current ammo, we're just looking for this variable right here, and because it is an int variable, we need to make sure that we have toString at the very end here. This will convert the int into a string. Now, we also have the total ammo down here, total ammo.text, but this time we're using a slash, so we don't need to use toString because it's a combination of actual text or a string with a int variable. So this top line is replacing the text within our current ammo text element, and this line right here is replacing the total ammo text. All right, go ahead and save that. Let's go back to our UI, and you'll see these things pop up. There we go. So we have the current ammo and the total ammo. We also need the shoot script as well. So the current ammo is going to be within the weapon bounds, which is our text element. Let's do the same thing for the total ammo. And the shoot script is going to be on our moving rig. It's actually going to be on the rig handgun itself, rather. Drag that into the shoot script slot, and there we go. So now we have our shoot script and our two text elements. Let's hit play. And there we go. It updated with the new information. If I shoot, you can see it updates in real time. If I reload, same thing. So there we go. Now we have an easy way to update our ammo count information and display that visually using a UI text element. Now you can use the same technique for other UI text elements as well using a script. Now in our next lesson, we're going to be going over how to modify our health and armor bars when we take damage.